It takes a lot to break me. I could put up with a lot cinematically. This movie not only broke me, but I now feel lobotomized. Jesus fucking Christ. Amityville, The Awakening is directed by Frank Calhoun, and it stars Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bella Thorne, and Cameron Monaghan. It tells the story of a family with a comatose brother/son who move into the Amityville house and weird shit starts happening. I don't have words to describe this film. I sat in silence for about 10 minutes after it ended to give you guys a glimpse at the studio's confidence in this film. I saw a trailer for this movie with Annabelle in August of 2014. This movie came out November of 2017. This film was delayed for 3.5 years. You can understand why I was dreading watching it. There aren't words to describe how fucking awful this movie was. There really aren't. I've sat through some torturous shit. And quite honestly, I don't have a review here for you. I don't. I can't. I'm truly speechless at the fact that this movie exists. Rather than review it, I'm going to give you a detailed walkthrough of the notes I took while I was watching it. 1. Is that Bradley Cooper as Ronnie DeFeo? 2. Is this a sequel? Is it a reboot? Is it a meta-film? Is it even a film? I don't know. 3. This movie feels like it's from the mid-2000s. Between her being, the social outcast at school and not fitting in and listening to grunge music, the only thing was missing was Creed. 4. Jump scares. Jump scares everywhere. 5. Somehow, despite it being famous, the family doesn't know that they moved into the Amityville house. 6. The annoying comic relief friend who is not funny at all, at one point pulls out an Amityville horror DVD and suggests they go to the main girl's house and watch it. What world does this exist in that the Amityville horror series exists? Is it supposed to be our world? That's weird. I already lost count. Captain Exposition Friend, who's the comic relief boy, is insufferable. He doesn't ever shut the fuck up. All he ever does is spout exposition about the house and tell Bella Thorne's character about the murders that happened there and how they happened, and in great detail why they happened, and theorizes about the possession of the house. He doesn't actually service the plot as any means other than a mouthpiece for the director to spout exposition to any audience member who hasn't seen the Amityville movies. Throughout the entire film, he doesn't shut the fuck up about Amityville. Nothing happens in this film for an hour and 27-minute runtime. And then in the final 15 minutes, everything goes fucking nuts, and you have a giant, big, red, pulsing CGI room, and it looks really awful. And you have Cameron Monaghan, who's literally spent the entire movie doing and saying nothing, sitting in a bed in fucking coma, running around with a shotgun and trying to kill his family because it's, you need a climax. The mother's excuse in this movie is literally, I did know about that this was the Amityville house, and God wasn't answering my prayers to help my son, so I decided to move us into a devil house to hope he comes out of his coma. Red Foreman's in this movie. The entire film is spent blaming Bella Thorne's character for her brother's coma condition, and then you find out the reasoning, and it's really not her fault at all. She sent nudes to a dude, the dude leaked them, and the brother went to kick the dude's ass and got pushed out of a window. So, how is that really her fault? Because it seems kind of silly to blame her for the actions of some asshole. And finally, the editing in this film. Holy fucking God, it is awful. In the climax of the film, she's trying to drag her brother outside of the binding circle or whatever the fuck it is, and the way this is edited, they either didn't have enough footage or the line was far too close to the house, because despite the fact that it is chopped to shit, you can see that she clearly drags him over the line, his entire body, about 3 times before the film actually decides she now actually officially dragged him over the line. There's another scene toward the beginning of the film featuring a jump scare where she closes a window, and outside the window is her sister up against the glass saying boo. And then she turns around and acts as though she didn't see her sister outside the window, even though she jumps at that. But then when she turns around, she's acting as though she's jumping at her sister who's standing in the hall behind her. So her sister teleported from outside to inside, but Bella Thorne's character never actually states that she was outside at all. She just says you shouldn't sneak up on people. Rather than even try and explain what I mean by this, I'm just going to put the scene right here for you to see, because it's truly miraculous.
Oh my god. Oh, Juliet, you can't just sneak up on people like that.
There's no possible explanation aside from they shot the scene twice and couldn't decide which to go with, so they used both despite the fact that they were completely different scenarios. Are there any positives? Bella Thorne's trying, at least. She has literally nothing to work with, but she's trying. Jennifer Jason Leigh gives an awful performance. Cameron Monaghan, it's a total waste. And I mean, the biggest positive of this film is that it's mercifully short. It's 1 hour and 27 minutes. And even though it's less than 1.5 hours, I still had to stop it about 3 times just to take a break and walk away and collect myself, because this movie broke me. I couldn't do it. Fuck it. Amityville: The Awakening is a garbage fire. I don't need to explain myself further than that. It's awful. Don't watch it. Actually, I take that back. This film is so awful, so miraculously awful, that it has to be seen to be believed. Get monumentally wasted and turn this movie on and watch it. It's not ironically enjoyable. You're not gonna find any actual laughs in it. It's atrocious, but it's so atrocious that you kind of need to see it just to understand how mind-blowingly bad it is. I can't say anything else. I seriously can't. This movie fucking broke me.
Hi, honey. Come sit down. We were just about to start dinner.